We are so excited because we've been talking about this forever. We have the fabulous Christina Adams, and she is with us via Skype. We've got her picture via Skype. I've got her voice on the phone. Christina, for those of you who don't know, amazing, amazing woman that I'm excited to call friend. And I said earlier, Christina wrote the book that changed our lives. It's called A Real Boy, and if you haven't read it yet, you should. It's a great read. I probably have read it 6 or 7 times. I haven't read it recently, and I should reread it again because it is the book that set us on the path that got us to all the things that we wanted to. And so I owe her forever for that, for telling her story. But as I said earlier, Christina's life took a little bit of a turn, and we've had her on the show several times since then. We have a whole segment where we feature her, Autism and Beyond. And but we've been saying, Christina, you got to write another book, and we knew what the new book needed to be about. I don't want to give it away because today here we're doing the big reveal for the first time. You're going to get to see the cover of, and not yet because we're going to wait, Traven. You're going to get to see the cover of Christina's new book. So Christina, welcome. Always a thrill to have you here.
Thank you, Shannon. I'm really happy to be here today. So,
are those camel legs I see?
You don't have to read my first book again. I'm finally going to give you what you absolutely said I had to do. So
yes.
I live for you, Shannon.
Well, I hope that's not the case, but I appreciate that. I am perpetually, forever your biggest fan, but I love that I am so lucky that I get to call you friend now. Now, are those camel legs on the picture behind you?
No.
Are those horses'
they're
legs?
Horses.
Okay.
They're Italian horses.
Okay.
I have a friend who was an Italian artist. He actually did the original sets for Sesame Street.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, in a way, I'm kind of glad because I know so much of your life has been taken over by camel and camel culture. So I'm glad that you have horses on your wall too, and still have room for the other things in your life. But so Christina, tell us a little bit about the book, and then you tell us when you're ready for us to do the big reveal of the new cover.
Okay, so thanks for having me today. I've always loved connecting with Autism Live. I can't say how much I adore not only you, Shannon, but all the people that you bring into the fold. And I also appreciate Dr. Grant for everything she's always done. So, yeah, my first book, A Real Boy, definitely covered the whole early intervention theme. And it has biomedical, it has behavioral, it has the emotional, it has the family story, and all those kind of things. So I'm really glad that was published, and it went into a few editions, and people, believe it or not, are still reading it, which is great. I like that very much. I appreciate that my son's legacy is still having an impact. But as I've said before, after that book came out, I met a guy with a camel, and I had the bright idea that camel milk would help my son. And I chased it down, and I flew it in from far, far away, and gave it to him, and he had an incredible overnight response. So ever since then, I did find myself, was highly unlikely, a girl from Virginia who left a farm after high school, and I find myself now visiting farms and learning all about camels, and I have learned a great deal about them. And, of course, the milk was the main driver for that, but I became really immersed in their incredible culture and the value that their legacy of knowledge brings to all of humanity. And then, of course, the incredible animals themselves. And we all need a break from autism, and a fun animal is really a great break. And I have really enjoyed moving into that direction. And a lot of people write me a lot and ask me all about this information. And so I just determined I have got to get this information out there. I can't keep answering emails one at a time. So I've written the book, and it will be coming out October 29th if all stays according to schedule.
And I can't wait. I love that Christina just gave us, like the elevator pitch of what the book is about. But here's what I know is that over the years, there have been stories that you have told me about the both on camera and off camera about your adventures in camel milk land. And there is some crazy stuff and these stories. I just think it's a fascinating thing. I love that you're doing a book. I hope that you've included those stories in there, because honestly, I can see a film of a mom. You know, the things that you have shared with me, it's just fascinating, how your life has taken this different path, and some of the places that you've found yourself in, some of the circumstances that you found yourself in. It's just crazy, and crazy good. So are those stories included?
Well, the book is titled Camel Crazy, and because the whole story is so unlikely, and it seems like, wow, really, that's crazy. But honestly, science is all behind it, and I will be weaving some of that in the book. So, yeah, I'm going to have some stories that I have never really probably told anyone in the book.
Awesome.
And there are, the great part is also I'm sharing other people's stories. Many of the camel cultures, they've existed for, thousands of years, but they do their own thing. They're in remote areas. A lot of them, their English is wonderful because they have English, and I really greatly appreciate that. But they don't spend time writing, in English to try to get their story out to the larger world. So I'm going to be honored to present some of these cultures' amazing stories that you just can't even believe.
Well, so maybe it's time. Shall we do the big reveal? Should we? I want to do the John Oliver drum roll.
Let's do one thing first.
Okay.
I want to tell everybody, if you think about writing, which many of us, autism parents do, and anyone can think about writing, doing it is another matter, but it can be done. So I want to show you the big chunk of paper like this. Can you see this paper?
Yes.
A big chunk of paper like that can actually turn into a real book. So it can be done. If you want to do it, give it a try.
Oh, man, that's inspiring. Okay, but so let's take a look. Like I said, my John Oliver drum roll, and it is time here for the first time anywhere. We are going to reveal the cover for Christina's new book. Go ahead, Traven, hit us with it. There it is. I love it. Camel Crazy, a quest for miracles in the mysterious world of camels. So fabulous. I can't read what it says at the top, but because my eyesight is not good enough and it's too far away from me. But it's beautiful. I love, I'm a fan of camels. I've shared this with you before, that I think that camels are some of the cutest and coolest animals on the planet, and they spit, which I don't know why that's very intriguing to me. Since a child, I thought that was that they were the coolest animals. So do you like the cover?
I do like the cover. I love what my publisher is doing with it. They totally got the whole concept. They embrace it, they celebrate it, and they were like, wow, this is amazing. And my publisher also values some of the knowledge from these people that have not been able to get things out. And so one of their missions is to preserve this kind of legacy. And so we're really in sync. And I love the cover. And that camel is beautiful, more beautiful in person than he is on the cover. Actually, it might be a she. I think I know her name, but I don't want to say in case I get it wrong. But I describe that camel and some other camels in the book. And just so our autism friends know why they should be interested in it, is because autism is what drove me into this unlikely detour, and autism is what's bringing the cultures into the chance to survive and get their products out there and get their cultures out there, get their livelihood saved, because now thousands and thousands of children and families across the world are using camel milk for autism and other issues. And it's also a great food.
And I love that there is this symbiotic thing, because this was a culture, people who raised camels, that was not finding a market, and it's an ancient culture, and I'm sure that you're going to tell us in the book about all the different ways that camel milk has been used over centuries, and yet camel milk had sort of fallen off the radar, and these people, as you have given us to understand, were struggling economically. So how thrilling that as the autism community embraces camel milk, that it's also helping an entire economy to stay alive and well. And I want to call it a dying art, but it's no longer dying anymore. And I don't know that it's an art, but you know what I mean. This society, this way of life is now being revived. What a wonderful aspect to this story, Christina. And you've been there to see it firsthand on many of your travels.
Yes, I will. The book is going to contain quite a bit of not only my investigations here in the United States, but also from different countries. So come along with me if you ever wanted to visit the Middle East, if you want to visit India, if you want to hear what they're doing in other countries about just their legacy and the knowledge that these cultures bring. So it's a little bit about more, it's, ostensibly it's about camels and camel milk, yes it is, but it's really about the people, about life, about culture, about the miracles that we all need just sometimes to make it day to day.
Which is fabulous, and I'm going to love that part of it. But as you say, Christina, that there's some good science that is behind it. Are you detailing the science of it as well in the book?
I'm sorry, what, Shannon?
So there's some really good science behind all of it too, and are you I would imagine that you're talking about some of the research and the science behind the camel milk and why you and other people are finding it that it's been useful for your kids. Do you including the science?
Yes, I do. I don't overkill it on the science, but I put just enough in so people, not only from our community, the autism community, can understand it, but also outside readers who are going to be skeptical, some of them. I'm definitely going to put enough in there for them to be satisfied or get the research that they want to go in a new direction. And I will say, in 2013, I published a medical journal article, which is peer-reviewed, and since then, I'm just so pleased that it's been cited maybe 11 times by other researchers or more. So it's not only did what it needs to do, it's also helping other researchers build their science. And then I even spoke a couple of years ago at a neurological conference, and that researcher, there was a brilliant researcher, a woman from Pakistan there, who had never heard of it, took the idea, ran with it, and is doing some amazing things in Pakistan. And I just gave a presentation remotely to a wonderful conference over there to a group of scientists and autism people. So again, it's bringing together the community with our wonderful children and families.
It's remarkable. So the book is going to come out in October, if all stays on schedule, the end of October. Is there a place where we can pre-order yet?
Amazingly, it's already available for pre-order. So, yes, there is. Amazon has it in America. Amazon.in in India, you can have it. And Barnes & Noble in America has it. I saw it on Australia somewhere. And, of course, if people want to know how to get it, they can follow me on Twitter at Camel Milk Info. They can come check out my website, ChristinaAdamsAuthor.com. They can also go on my Facebook page, Christina Adams Author. There's a lot of ways to reach me, so I will definitely help them out with that.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. So for people who are like, okay, I want to know more about this now, I want the book in October, but I want to know more now. So all of those websites that you just mentioned, they can go to be able to connect with you and see some of the things that you are talking about. You're also just an amazing person. I'll be honest, if your schedule permitted it, I would have you on the show so much more, Christina, because there's always, it seems like every 2 weeks you'll send me something and it's like, oh, that's something that I would really enjoy talking with you about. You're someone in the community who I can think of 3 or 4 things that you've sent me that we'd love to talk more with you about. But today we wanted to talk about the book. But if you find, once you get everything edited, that you have more time, we'd love to have you on more often.
I would love to, and I do have a few more interesting thoughts I've explored lately. I just returned from Croatia, where I chased down something interesting, so we can talk about that.
Oh, man. And, now I'm curious.
There's always a world to explore here,
Yes. Well, and also, I mean, one of the things that I think about, you sent me an article. Of course, there was another one of those horrible stories of a parent who had reached the end of their tether and did the unthinkable. And, you always have your finger on the pulse, Christina, and you posted about it. and had a group of people who were very much moving towards finding resources for parents and a way that if you can really not handle being with your child, to safely surrender your child to people who can, so that you don't have to harm yourself or your child to get the attention of people who can potentially help. And I just, at some point we have to do a whole show about that, Christina.
I would love to. And the message really to parents is it can get really bad. We know this. We know how bad your situation can be. But things can always change. Things can always change, and they can get better, and you will have more chances to recover yourself and your kids. So
yeah, no kidding.
That's what we need to know.
But I do want to encourage people, to go to Christina's website and follow along, because she follows a wide variety of things, and she's just an amazing person in our community she keeps her finger on the pulse. So if you keep your finger on her pulse, you'll get to know a lot of things, because you're remarkable, Christina. Well, we thank you so much. I know this was a quick call to talk about the book, but we thank you so much for being willing to take the time. And I know you got to go back to editing.
I do. It's several hours a day and night, and keeps me awake at night. But everything's going really well. So with any luck, we'll get it in final form, and then I'd love to come back and share it with you at that point in time.
Absolutely.
In October.
We will always make time for you.
Super. And one thing I want to add is quickly, I'm delighted now that I'm actually hearing from young autistic adults who are writing to me and asking about their health and camel milk and things like that. So I'm just so happy that they are taking care of themselves, and I'm delighted to connect with them. What
a wonderful thing. Well, that's very exciting. Thank you so much for being with us, Christina, and give love to everybody in your family.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.